Hi, my name is Jimmy McDonald, National Director of Sales for GOLFZON America, and today we're going to take a look at the new GOLFZON Wave, a brand new simulator and launch monitor all in one, and we've been waiting for this thing for a long time. I can't wait to crack open this box. We're going to do that with you, we're going to set it up with you, and we're going to show you how to use it all today. The GOLFZON Wave is an affordable, all-in-one golf simulator and launch monitor. Now that's what's exciting here, because GOLFZON has been in the simulator game for a long time, but this is our first launch monitor. Just last year on our simulators alone, we did over 86 million rounds at over 12,000 commercial locations around the globe. So we know what we're doing here when it comes to technology. So the Wave is a simulator, yes, but you can't really take a simulator everywhere, and that's where the Wave is different, because here you can. This is designed to be the perfect companion indoors or outdoors. You can set it up in a dedicated simulator environment, kind of like what I have right here behind me. Or you can bring it out to the range, get some data while you're hitting balls, really good data. If you're a teacher, it's the perfect companion when you're giving a lesson. So why should you buy the GOLFZON Wave over any other launch monitor out there? Well, we want this to be a simulator, not just a launch monitor. And in order to simulate the game of golf, you gotta be able to putt, which launch monitors traditionally aren't very good at. And that's why we made this standalone putting mat, which uses infrared sensors, as opposed to the radar sensors in the Wave unit itself. Now this allows you to play the whole game of golf, from tee to green and then into the bottom of the cup. All right, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's open up this box and take a look at the GOLFZON Wave. We're finally here. We got all the components out of the box, so let's take a look. We've got our power cable and adapter. We're going to use those to plug the Wave in, give it a little juice. Over here we've got our USB cable. We're going to use that to give power to the putting mat. Set that aside, and lastly we've got our Wave carrying case. Inside that is a quick start guide. That'll come in handy in a moment. We've got our GOLFZON Wave. Look at that beautiful piece of hardware right there. There's a little rag so we can get all my gross fingerprints off of it, and finally there's a tripod that we can use to set that Wave up and keep it stable when we're out at the range or in our simulator. Let's take a deeper dive and a closer look at the Wave launch monitor itself. There's a few things on here to call out. Number one is your alignment line. Right up on the top, you're going to use that to orient towards your target during your practice sessions or when you're using your simulator. Second, we've got the replay camera right here. Now that's going to videotape every swing that you take, and you can view it on your Wave Skills app. You can also use that as a guide in alignment as well. Rotate here to the side, we've got our power button, self-explanatory. Down here is your charging port. You'll use that to plug in and recharge the battery. The battery life, by the way, is 4 hours roughly when you are not plugged in. You've got your status LED bar right here. So to cover what these 4 LED lights mean, your first LED indicates that the unit is plugged in and it's using that power to operate. Right under that, you've got your battery indicator. That means that the unit is not plugged in and it's using the onboard battery. Below that is your Wi-Fi. That's just letting you know that this Wave unit right here is connected via Wi-Fi to your laptop, computer, iOS, Android device, whatever you're using to simulate. And right below that is Bluetooth, BT, and that means that your Wave putting mat is also connected to your computer for full simulated play. And lastly, should it ever come up that you need to reset your unit, there is a hard reset button right here. You just give that a quick tap and you're back up and running in no time. Now transitioning to the putting mat, there are 2 LED lights here as well. There's one for Bluetooth to let you know a connection has been established, and there's one for ready, letting you know that the system is ready to read a shot. The lights on the putting mat may not light up until you're actually on the simulated course. So the Wave radar device will fit perfectly in your golf bag. It's only 5 by 7 inches, very easy to move around, and then your Wave putting mat here is 14 by 12. So we're almost ready to set up our Wave and start using it now, but first thing we have to do is identify where we're going to put it. Now I'm standing on my hitting mat right now, and I know that I've got about 11-12 feet to the screen. As a minimum requirement, you want to have at least 11 feet. Anything greater than that, fantastic. But from the ball to the screen, a minimum of 11 feet. Now where are we going to put our Wave launch monitor? Well, that's got to be 6.5 to 8 feet behind where the golf ball is. So that's just a couple quick steps here. That's about 6 feet, so I can put it anywhere beyond that. Now I'm going to hit the power button to connect it to my Wave Skills app. When I hit that power button, You'll see the lights light up. It's turning on. That's good news. We like that. So now I'm ready to set the wave down, and now I can head over to connect it to my iPad. Here we are in my tablet's Wi-Fi settings. It may take a minute or two for the Wi-Fi network to be found, but once it is found, you just simply tap the Wi-Fi network, and it'll prompt you for a password. The password is WAVE, all lowercase, W-A-V-E, the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit join and establish the connection between your tablet and the WAVE device. We're all set up now. Everything is where it's supposed to be. I got my wave on the floor. I got enough space to hit my shot, and I've got the Wave Skills app rocking and rolling. We're ready to hit some shots on the range now. Keep your fingers crossed I hit the face. Okay, little pull, little hook. I felt that for sure. All right, so there's a few different ways that we can look at the data here, and it's just really visual preference. So this is just a view from downrange, from the ball downrange, seeing what it did, how it curved, how high it went. I can view a top down, which is taken from a bird's eye view, shows you the curvature of the flight and how far it went. We can take a look from the side, which is going to show you how the golf ball climbed when it reached its apex and when it came back, how it came back down to the turf. We can get a 45-degree view, which is kind of right in the middle. You get a little bit of everything there. Obviously, you can look at that view that we just had a moment ago from the ball downrange, or there is a scatter chart. Now, I've only hit one ball, so we don't have a big sample size here, but if you hit 20, 30, 40, 8 irons in a row, it's going to give you a really good idea of your dispersion and if you need to tighten things up. So those are all different views of what the golf ball did. It's not really data, though it is, but it's not really numbers, right? We want to look at the numbers. So there's a couple of different ways to do that. I can click my menu here and go to my main screen settings, or I can click the little graph up here and that'll take me right to my dashboard. Now there's where all your good data lives. That's where I can see what the golf ball did at and through the impact zone. I can see where the golf ball took off, how fast it was moving, how much spin it had. There's a ton of data here. Look, it even tells me I hooked it. Yes, I did. One of the cooler features here is you can select what club. So if you're hitting 28 irons and then 26 irons and then 24 irons, you can track that data not only in this practice session, but on into the future and compare practice sessions against one another. Now this is all club data that we're looking at here, or I can back out and just take a look at the ball. I can look at what that golf ball was doing. There's some really good data here for both the club and the ball. So data is great, but what if you don't always want the data? You just want the visual, you want to get practice reps in. There's some great tools in here in the Wave Skills application. If I just jump into my target practice 3D right here, I've got 3 different ways that I can use the system to hit different shots. And I get my data, but maybe I'm not always concerned with it. I've got approach practice, where I'm just going to hit shots into the green. I've got putting practice, where I'm going to hit shots on the green. Or I've got a one-hole practice. So we're not going to play the hole right now. I just want to show you that this is actually a hole that we can go play. It's a 299-yard hole. Some people might be able to drive that. I'm not one of them. So I can lay up here short of those bunkers, play into the green, and actually have myself an on-course experience while physically being on the range. Data, visuals, all that stuff is great. Maybe I just want to look at my swing. I can do that too, because we've got the camera built in here. So if I go to my main menu, click swing video, there she is right there. I can watch the video, I can pull up statistics from that shot. I can pull out the pen and I can draw on it, mark it up. So the Wave Skills app is tremendous. A lot of great resources in there to get a good practice session in, but let's go play a round of golf now. And the first thing we're going to need to do is hook up our putting mat. It's very easy to do. All you have to do is grab your power cable right here that's plugged into a power source. I'm going to plug it in. My lights will illuminate. We're plugged in, and we are now Bluetooth connected. It connects automatically, so this will illuminate on the Bluetooth. And right over here on my Wave, that also has the Bluetooth light illuminated. So it's telling me we're ready for some golf. Now you do need a powerful enough PC to run the software. You need 70 gigs of download space, and you have to have Windows 10 or Windows 11. Now once we pass those hurdles and you're good to go there, we need to connect the wave to it through the Wi-Fi just as we did on the tablet before. So you'll open your Wi-Fi settings, you'll find the wave, enter the password, make that bridge, and you're good to go. So now our wave and our putting mat, we're all connected. Let's set up a game and get on the golf course. I'll come over here to my PC and it'll bring me to the login. If I click guest login, select player one right here, I can change the name. All I have to do is click anywhere in that player one and I can put my own name in there. If I'm playing with other people, I can put their names in there and we can set up the game however we want. Up to 6 players can compete at one time. I'll just do 1 for now to keep it simple. Over here I can select my difficulty level, beginner through tour. Tour is going to give you no help at all. It's just whatever numbers we capture, that's how it's going to play out on the screen. Beginner is going to give you a little bit of help. We'll capture the numbers, we'll share the numbers, the real numbers with you, but we'll give you a little help within the software to rein those errant shots in a bit. I can select my tee box or what handedness I am. Well, I'm right-handed, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave it. I'll click next, and now I'm going to select the game mode that I want to play. So I can either go to the driving range and just hit some balls, I can play stroke play, or I can play network play. Network play is when I compete against other people who aren't in the room with me. They're maybe somewhere else, New York against California, in real time. For the purpose of this, we're going to do stroke play. So I'll select it, click next, and now we can pick our golf course. You can filter any which way, you can search by golf course. I'll just keep it simple and I'll go to the United States and pick Cog Hill, one of my favorites. Now I'm going to hit next and select all the options for that round of golf. I can turn gimmies all the way off if I want to, put them at 0. Now I got to use that putting mat and putt everything out. I've got my green conditions, normal, faster, or fastest. We can select how many mulligans we want to use, pin positions, wind. I don't need any of that stuff. Let's just go tee it, huh? From the Vision Wave software, when we're on the golf course, there's a lot of things we can do while we're on the golf course. All we have to do is click this menu button and we're going to pull up quite a few things that we can do to control the software. Mulligan, pretty self-explanatory. Concede, that means everybody's going to just pick up and go to the next hole. View to green is another really fun one. That's going to give you a flyover of the entire hole and show you what lies ahead for you. Continue the putting is a tremendous feature if you're playing with more than one person. Normally, the rules of golf, whoever's farthest away on the green goes next, so there's a lot of up and down, back and forth when you're on the green trying to finish the hole. So if you hit continue the putting, that means once we're on the green, if I'm away, I go first, but I don't come off and let you hit if I miss the putt. That means I'm going to stay on and finish out, and then you'll go and you'll putt and you'll finish out. You can view your scorecard if you want to, see what you've done so far. In the middle of your game, if you want to add players or delete players, maybe somebody leaves and someone new shows up, you can go ahead and click that button and you can add more players, delete some players who left. As long as there's one person hanging around who wants to finish the whole round, go right ahead. Right or left hand allows you to change the handedness of the golfer that's playing, so if I sub out for a lefty, you can go ahead and make that tweak very easily. Well, that covers it. Thank you so much for tuning in to learn about the GOLFZON Wave, a product that we are just over the moon excited about, and I hope you are too. If you have any questions or you want to learn more about the product, you can go to our website, golfzonegolf.com/wave. Thanks again and happy golfing.